All right, GM, everybody. I'm up here on the top of the cantina, enjoying a beautiful sunrise. The palm trees are waving. The salt air is coming in off the coast. There's a nice westerly. Probably going to be great for sailing this afternoon. Oh, I really love it. I love this spot. I really, out of all the things I've made, I love these trees so much. So I had to go up there and make it like pretty today. Just sit up there in the sunrise. Oh, look at this. I'm just gonna stand up here and drink my coffee, guys. I mean, I live in the mountains in the woods, so this is the closest I get to the sea, to the salt water. If I'm lucky, I get maybe like 5 to 10 days a year on the salt water. So this is like, I miss it. I miss it. Oh, and hello, everybody. There's a pumpkin inside of the OP dispenser. Rustan, yes. Yes, there's a pumpkin inside of the OP dispenser. Oh, wait. Whoa, Jay showed up on my stream? Oh, Jay, I don't see you. Well, that's weird. Okay, I'm gonna run over here. Okay, I just got audio, so I gotta do some fixing for my audio. I don't know. I don't need any of that. I don't need to hear myself. Okay, so that was crazy. I don't know if you snuck up on me, Jay, or if somehow it didn't show up. Let's see. I might have audio issues, you guys. I don't know. We'll see. Here I am back. Okay, got the feed. It's still having audio issues. I don't know why. I gotta figure it out. I thought I had a solve. So Sin, if you're listening, the fix did not fix. But if you guys, the only time it affects anybody is if you go back and listen to it again. It just sounds like I tried to use a voice changer to like protect my identity, and it's really a bad voice changer. I did not protect my identity with a voice changer. I just don't know why it's doing that. So yeah, if anybody tries to go and listen to it, it's all crackly. I thought using my headset would fix it today, and I guess not. So, all right. So Rustan, if you said there's a pumpkin inside the OP dispenser, you bet there is. Good buddy. You know why that's there? Wait, how do you know? I don't see it. Wait, how did you see the pumpkin? I don't see the pumpkin, but there is a pumpkin. There's always a pumpkin. I sound great to you. Okay. It might just be like the YouTube playback. Maybe the settings, I don't know. So much for being a streamer, you guys. I tried. I think Rustan is trolling me about the pumpkin. He knows that. Well, thank you everybody for coming. It's so good to see everybody here. I don't know about you, but it's like it's a gray Tuesday morning for me, which is fine. It just makes being here at the beach that much nicer, because it's always sunny at La Pintina. So, thank you. So, Rusan said, the pumpkin loaded before the dispenser for me, and I saw it. So, I think if anybody's been here long enough, like, to see the way I build, you'll know that there's a pumpkin under every OP machine. So Rustan, that is how I know the chords of where to put the OP machine. And I use a pumpkin because It really only has a use one time a year. I also love pumpkins. I have a little known fact. I am obsessed with pumpkins. Um, I really love the Curcubita family in growing. So um, it's just an asset that like shouldn't be on a scene. So if I see a pumpkin there, then I know, okay, that's what I placed. That's where the OP machine is. Because I can just get the coords for that, and I don't have to be all mathematical and try to figure out where where did I put that. Just drop a pumpkin down, take a screenshot of the location, go into OP or into cursor, put your coordinates there, and like everything's done. It's just, I know it's weird, but it's quick, and I'm lazy, and they didn't have a donut in the builder, so pumpkins are just easy to use. All right, so thank you everybody for coming. Thank you for grabbing that OP badge, you guys. The OP badges, I don't know if somebody's new and they don't know about them. It's just a proof of attendance badge that lives on your like OpenSea wallet portfolio. You can also go to op.xyz and you can see all the badges you collected. It is nice because I can go back, and anybody that's been here, I'm amazed that I have people that have been here every single one of these, and I appreciate you so much. And I can go back and I can reward them just for, showing up, for choosing to spend your time here. So that is really awesome. All right, so today, let's see, also, if you have questions, you're welcome to put them in the chat, and I'll see them at the end. Sometimes there's just things that come up that you might have questions. Here we go. Yeah, and if you're new and you haven't spent much time in Blender, I'll try to go slow enough. It might be a little much if this is your first time trying Blender. So what I highly suggest, I've got other videos on my YouTube channel at Canessa DCL1, and those videos will start you at the very beginning and start you in the Creator Hub, which is what Decentraland uses to build. And then after that, you can work up to going into Blender. So hopefully my intent is that everybody could just go at their own speed, get the basics, just the very basics, and then after that, you can just pick which projects that you think are cool and try to replicate them. Yeah, so I know, simple. I don't know what it is, so maybe it's something with YouTube. That's okay. If everybody hears me normal, that's fine. It's just if you're gonna listen afterwards, then you're just gonna get the crazy, voice changer, which is okay. It's just, maybe I'm trying to hide my identity. All right, well, let's get into it, guys. Last week we made. I'm gonna wait for a second to make sure this catches up. We made the Hex Club. I like the hexagon. It's like a very Web3 shape. I've noticed Decentraland uses it in all of the I don't know, game jam stuff on the clothing that they made, and so it just is a very perfect cyberpunk shape. And when you repeat that shape together, it kind of looks like a honeycomb. It just looks really cool. So I was like, let's club Hex. I'm not gonna run Club Hex. I'm not starting it up, but it seems like such a good idea. If you saw this in the metaverse, you'd be like, "Whoa, those people are cool." Club Hex. But what I really want to do is just show you how you can take one shape, use that shape, repeat it, use that at that. This is literally just a shape as your entire theme. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of simple. It's beautiful in its simplicity. If you want to see what we did last week, I will jump over here to Decentraland again. If you want to see what we did last week, it is behind us in the OP badge area. So, and of course, I'm working on my marketing, guys. I'm trying to get a little bit better. Create the Cyberpunk Club in 1 hour. I think I added the windows after, and maybe the floor. So maybe it's an hour, 5 minutes. But basically, yeah, you could make something like this in an hour. And I think that is really mind-blowing and just empowering to see that it doesn't take that long to make something that I think looks kind of cool. Let's see, just make sure my stream is caught up. This is a build for one parcel of land, so of course it's not that big. If you have 2 pieces of land, it would be much bigger, and 4 pieces of land, going to be much bigger than that. But it's a start. So my hope is that everybody can take inspiration and be like, yeah, this is cool. I'm not going to do a hex club. I'm going to do a circle club. Or no, joking. The octagon. Oh my gosh. Well, you could have so much fun with that. Let's see. 1 second. Just answer. All right. Thank you, Sin. All right. So the outside's cool. The inside, it's a little sparse. One thing I like, one thing that really gets me when I go into a club is I don't know if it's the feng shui or just like the vibe and the space around you. To me, this club is kind of constricting. Like 6 walls. Um, I need it to do something different. I need it to be like bigger, or I need to get up here in the air. So there's a lot that you can do inside this club. I think that will make it so much better, I would say. However, it's also 1 parcel of land, and it's just a challenge to get something on 1 piece of land that you're going to be like, wow, this is I don't need 20 parcels. This is as good as it can get. So sometimes it's just a matter of like, I have 1 parcel of land to work with, and this is what I got. All right, so back to Blender. Again, the part that is gonna slow us down is probably just the inspiration part. Like, all right, what do I do next? There's a lot of places to start. I could put a door frame. I could do safety railings so nobody falls off. But one thing I want to do is probably place a screen, because I need to know in my scene, like, this is gonna be like a club. I need to know where my viewers are gonna see the screen, because then that helps them get around the screen, and it helps me know how to move traffic. Because I'll tell you one thing, as a designer, people are going to do the craziest freaking things, and it is so frustrating sometimes when you spend all this time making something, and then every human that goes on the scene goes somewhere else. And so it's still something that I'm like, I'll make something, and people interact with it completely different than I think. I'm like, what the heck? Like, it's fascinating. I think it's fascinating. All right, so I want to get in here, kind of dissect this thing apart. So I'm going to grab my main piece, the build. It's the cylinder right here, and I'm going to hide that. And the reason I wanted to say, like, that's a cylinder is because I also have the identical one, and right here it says model collider. That's the collider. That's the part that when you get to that, you can't walk through it. So actually this one, I usually just delete colliders. If I'm going to do any edits, I just delete them, because I could just duplicate that and make a new one. There's no reason to do it any other way. So for a screen, normally I would put in a black square. However, as we see, the whole building is black. So I think it would be better if I just put in some other, color thing. So I'm going to do a cube. It's going to go down there. And I had to think, like, do I want that? Do I want the screen up above, or do I want it down below? And I'm guessing, I could be wrong, I'm guessing all the humans are going to go up above. I could be wrong. Sometimes they just stay in the weirdest places, Like, think back to the dollhouse. How that's 3 stories tall. There's a hot tub. We used to have great hot tub parties. But where does everybody stay? They stayed on the bottom. And so it was a really good example of, like, people, I don't know, people are just going to do, they're just going to do weird things. But hopefully I can control and, like, guide them up to the top. Not control. Sometimes, like, like that, maybe you want to be, like, totally controlling the way they interact with your scene. But I think for now, I'm going to say that this right here is my screen. So I'm toggling the entire build kind of on and off. I can see it's like, clipping right through there, but that's okay. So there's the screen. Sometimes it's hard to get, like, the view of how you're looking at it. So you gotta move it all around. All right. So I'm not convinced that I'm going to keep it there. I'm kind of like, I don't know. Lots of sound effects too. What I really want to do is break apart this wall down here because I think these shapes over here would be really cool as like the background. And not only that, but get this. Oh, this is what I think would be so fun. What if each one of these is like a secret little spot that a dancer can go dance in? Like, how cool would that be? But in order to do that, I need a large flat area, and I can't do that with this the way it is. So I think I'm going to turn the hex club into, I think it's still a hexagon because, it's still technically a six-sided shape, but I'm going to distort the ones back here. And since I have all this beautiful accenting, like all of this, well, the bottom one, I'm just going to take them out because it'll be really easy just to like replicate those, even though that was a lot of work I just did the undo. All right, the top I'm going to leave alone, and then down here I am going to mess with it. I'm going to make sure. Okay, yeah, just making sure my stream is catching up. So in order to mess around with this shape, this is like a really good practice because right now everything is symmetrical. We're going to change down here, but not up here. So we really need to get into the edit mode, which is a game changer when you realize what you can do and change that. So over here, there's object. And we're going to go into edit mode. I'm just going to make sure my stream has caught up. 1 second. Okay. Sometimes if I'm just stopped, I'm talking on a scene, I'm like, did I keep talking or should I stop? Okay, so you can kind of see, these little spots on the end. But to me right now, it's really distracting because it's all black. So I'm going to change it to this setting right here. This just seems so much easier for my eye to see the differences. And then if you, again, hit this right here, you get the X-ray view, which is really nice because when we move this shape, I want to grab not just the outside, but I need to grab this inside also. And I need to do it symmetrically and make sure I don't grab this side. So I got to move the camera angle right about here. And I'm just going to grab those. And I'm going to hold down the shift key, grab these bad boys. And grab those. And let's see, let's do the bottom. I'm actually like, okay, now what am I gonna do? How am I exactly gonna do this? I kind of don't want the screen there. Now I'm like, maybe I don't want the screen there, but not gonna worry about that. All right, so there's a couple ways I could do it. Actually, if I just grabbed all of them on the right side, I could just pull it to the right. All of them on the left side, I could pull it to the left. I'm just gonna do like S. See what it looks like. It kind of flattened it, but you could see it's intentionally like bringing stuff up here. So I'm going to undo that. And I think the best way is just to grab one side, do it one side at a time. Because that way I can control exactly how far out I'm going to bring it. There. Okay, that's going to give me more like a square back. And looks like I brought it out a little too far here, which is fine. If I look inside, that gave me way more surface area to work with, which I like. So same thing on this side. Really be careful not. Sometimes you'll use the X-ray and you'll get like a not a keyframe, but a little point from other parts, and that's not what you want. All right, so now let's do the same thing here. This will be kind of cool. It'll be a porch that goes way out. A deck. Yeah, and I think that think I'm gonna have to mess with that screen placement. I don't like where I put it after all. Oops, let's see. Let's grab that and this guy. Once you figure out how to use this, it's you can do so much with it. Mr. JStickle taught me how to do that. I was like, what the heck? All right, but now since I'm doing this independently, I'm like, I don't know how far I went. I went too far. Okay. So, the look back here. Sometimes it's just it's hard to see your build. You gotta get all over the place. Okay, so if there's people all around, they can see the screen. And I want to move the screen now, so I have to go back into edit mode and then object. You're always going to be toggling back and forth between edit and object. Okay. Yeah, I think this, in order to have enough room, I think this needs to come all the way out. And that's why I use this like placeholder for the screen. The screen I'm going to add to the Creator Hub. Let me just say that. The screen is added through the Creator Hub, but this is just telling my brain, my feeble brain, you got something here. This is where you gotta remember where this is. All right, so going back into edit mode, I'm gonna grab this guy, and this is actually a good one right here. I'm just gonna pull those out until I can hide my screen. See how the black, it's like really, there's not much contrast, so you can't see the difference. But there, okay, that just opened this up so much more. The shapes that we made are cool because they're, you know, they kind of go in and out. But as far as just like having enough room to dance and to be around other people, this is what you need. All right. Now, let's see. I want like basically, you know, the place where the pretty girl or pretty guy is dancing in a club, like in the hex shape. I think that's really cool. So I have to make sure they can get in it, for one thing. The door is kind of small, but that must have been exactly the size I used for the door, so that's good. I'm going to move this up here, and I'll see, can I put like a dancer on each side of the screen? And in order to do this, my club is kind of in the way, so I'm going to hide that. My screen is in the way too. Okay, so let's see. Would a little place for somebody to dance, I think it would be protruding past the screen. I think that'd be really cool to have it like the dancer is literally, I don't know, maybe the show. Like it's past the screen. And you know what I should do is rotate it. No. Okay, if I rotated it, then I could put it right next to the screen. But I don't know if I want to do that. Let me see. I just realized my stream is not moving. Let me come back to Decentraland. Is it? Oh, is it frozen on one screen? Let me just check with you guys. Because I see it looks like it's frozen, but then I'm like moving my cursor around and stuff. All right. Maybe it's just frozen for me. I don't know. I want to make sure that it's good before I continue though. Oh, okay. The screen is frozen with restarting the client audio. Okay. Oh no. Sorry that the screen is frozen. I don't know why that happened. Let me mess with some things through OBS. I will jump into Decentraland. So then we'll know if it catches up. I wonder if it's something on the back end, because I know Sin was going to do something to mess with it. So I moved it to Decentraland. So, and now I see it caught up. All right, I'm going to jump over to Blender, see if that helps. Oh, you can still hear me. Okay. Well, the worst thing is like when you're just talking and you're explaining it, but something happens with the stream and then people can't see what you're doing. It's like, no, I had a whole thing started. All right, so let me just give that a moment to catch up. It's weird. For me, it's like showing almost like the same part over and over again, maybe. Okay, it should be like a close-up of a white hexagon. If you see that, that's kind of where I'm leaving the screen right now. But I'm gonna check and see where this is. Let's see. Maybe I would try this. All right, so let's see. Can you guys see? Oh, that's so weird what it shows on the screen. Okay, so you can see it. Yeah, I think it's the way that it's capturing Blender. So, it looks like I can see us now. Yay. Yes, thank you everybody for your patience. Okay, so here we are. We're back. This is just like a different way. This is how I usually capture the screen. So, all right. So there's like a whole bunch of stuff that we did that, but now like I don't know how much you saw. So sorry for that. I don't think we missed too much. Basically, what I was saying is that we like made the back wider just to give us more room for stuff. And now we're going to try to make it so that two people could be in these hexagons next to the screen dancing. So that's kind of where we left off. This thing is kind of in my way, and so I'm gonna hide that. All right. So in order to make this like recessed, there's a few different ways we could do it, but I'm gonna do it like that. Put it over here. Now I like, the more I make this club, the more I'm like, I kind of want to see this. Like, I kind of do want to have it. Maybe we'll just have like one party there sometime. This is cool. All right, so I wonder if an avatar could get in here and dance. I think they could. I think they could. But what I need to do is have it hollowed out. So I'm going to Shift D. So now I have two of them right there. And then I'm going to hit S really carefully. I don't even need to do it much. It's like barely anything. And I'm just going to pull it there. You can see how there's just a tiny bit of overlap. And then I'm going to cut. You guys know I love my Boolean colliders. So I'm going to click on the one I need, like the part I want to keep first. And then I'm going to do the monkey wrench, add modifier, generate, Boolean, eyedropper, click your cutting tool, arrow, apply. And then usually I would delete this because I probably don't need it, but I might just set it over there because if I delete that, I'm going to need it in 5 minutes. I'm going to be like, duh. So there we go. That's cool. And in order for my brain to kind of see what I'm trying to do here, I'm just going to give it a translucent shape because I want to see an avatar like in there dancing next to it. I think that would be so cool. And then I'll pull it up nice and snug. And now the easy part is I just do a Shift D to duplicate it, and then I can put it over on this side. Oh, I feel like I didn't get that. Oh, see that? I didn't. That part's not lined up. There we go. Okay. So now we can have two people dancing in there. That's gonna be so cool. Um, and I kind of want it to look like, I don't know, like black background, so you can't really see how they get in and out. And I could just leave it like no collider in the background, so then once somebody goes in there, you're like, oh, they're just, how do they get in there? That's so cool. And then once you know, like the secret places in Decentraland, once you know how to get in there, you know how to get in there. All right, so I'm just going to make a collider so that people don't fall through these. I'm just going to click it, Shift D to duplicate it, right click, rename active object, model underscore collider. Again, this is what keeps it from, you know, this is like the wall that you step into. And this is all you have to do to put in colliders. So those are good to go. Let's see what it looks like with our building. Yeah, they stick out on the end. Oh, the symmetry's killing me, guys. I can't stand that. Oh, okay. Might have to just let go of the control on that one. Let's see. We could make this small. I just clicked on it, hit S to resize it a little smaller. And then if I want to move this shape, but I want both of them, the collider and that, I just have to drag and drop. I know I can bring that over here. Same with this side. Let's see if it's like you kind of have to find a spot where you can just grab both of them, but not the wall or anything else. These might be sticking out too far. We'll see. And this is the black background that I said, like, it'd be so cool if somebody's in there. But this is clipping way too much. So I think what I got to do is make this wall a little bit bigger. And it could actually come out all the way to the end. So let's see, this guy, I am going to delete it now because I don't need it. Click on it, object mode, go to edit mode. And then I'm going to just leave it in this mode. Instead of changing it over, just see if I can, how much I can do without messing with it. I'm going to try to bring this right into the corner. What I want to make sure it doesn't do is like clip over. Like if I did this, you're going to get this weird part right here. I believe that is a reversed normal. And that's no good. You don't want that. If you look at the cantina, there's a part that I hate it, and I'm so mad I haven't fixed it yet, you guys. I need to do some fixing, but check this out. Over here. See that flicker? I hate that. There's actually a few things going on right there. I think up here there's two shapes that are identical, but right here, I believe I did that where I stretched the rock too far and it's reversed. So I just need to go in there and mess with it. These rocks though, these were one of the first things I did here, and I was just really learning how to mess with stuff. And actually I should, yeah, if I could find the file quickly and easily, I would show it to you because it's a mess. It's an absolute nightmare. All of the rocks at the cantina are just, especially right in there, you can see why it looks kind of skewed. I made a little path through there, and so it is just an absolute chaotic mess. If I was graded on an assignment, that would be like a failing grade because it was way too complicated, way too many ways to break, and even up here, see that? Oh, you can see through. I love it. When you guys start building, you're gonna build stuff and then you're gonna go through your old stuff and be like, oh, I was so proud, but man, I really messed it up. Like right there, I can see some reverse normals. Oh yeah, gosh, look at that. Oh, actually, I think I'm missing a whole boulder down there. Jeez. All right. Let's not look too far behind the scenes. Um, because who knows? We might find stuff back there that I don't that I'm like, I don't want you to know how I tried to fix it. Um, so back to this. Oops, I clicked away and I didn't want to. This is what will happen if I do that. So if I do Control Z, it just lets me highlight that again. I don't want to go too far past that because it'll break your scene and you'll get the craziness, you get the flicker. It is cool if you're gonna do that on purpose. Like there's some cool effects you could certainly do. But this looks like it covers that. Now I'm like, I don't know, maybe I do want, well, if I bring out this section right here, then I lose the hexiness of my club. I still want it to be a hexy club, you know. So probably just like right there. Now, let's see. Okay, I think I'm gonna make the collider. Oh no, I'll do that at the end because I was thinking I'll make the collider have a hole that you can get through to this, but not the rest of it. But no, I'll wait on that. All right, so let's see. Do we want that? No, I don't think we have time to do. I was gonna do those repeating shapes all over, but I think I'll just leave those right there. What I want to do, because obviously we got like the bottom floor and the top floor, we have no way to get up there. So right now, if you run up to the Hex Club, you can't get upstairs. So I've got to find some way to get us up there. And, you know, I'll tell you these, let's see if I can hide this. These tiles just are the perfect thing for like an up and down elevator, I think. This floor, right now it doesn't look good because I have this. I'm gonna hide it. That's just the floor. Oops. Collider, the white one. You can't see that, but that's what you're standing on. So I'm going to hide that. And then when it looks like this, it looks so good. It looks so good out there. So what I might actually do is animate this ever so slightly, because I think if it's going up and down like this, you're going to see some cool stuff happening. Maybe not the blinding. So again, don't be afraid of animating. Animating is so stinking easy, guys. Just gotta like, you know, get your scene set up. I did that without talking about it. So what you're gonna do is grab right here, bring this up. This is where your keyframes are. If you make emotes, it was actually really nice because I made emotes before I ever did Blender. So by the time I came into Blender, this part was like super easy just to catch on. Like, oh yeah, I understand that. I've already gotten gray hairs from trying to figure out emotes, so this is easy. All right, all you're gonna do, make sure you're on keyframe 1, grab your piece. You're probably in object mode. It's just good to check. And then as you're hovering right here, just hit I, and I just adds a keyframe. Move your piece, and just, I don't know, it doesn't have to be too much movement. Right there, hit I. If I hit I down here, it's going to ask, do I want it in all channels? Yeah, I do. Honestly, don't even know what that means. I think it just means like, I don't know. I really don't know what it means. And then to get it back to where you want it to be at the start so that you have this seamless up and down loop, you're just going to go over here, left click, right click, copy, and at the end, paste. And then the keyframes, 250 keyframes, you can just hit play. And it's just going to go, you know, real slow. You can speed it up. The closer the keyframes are to each other, the faster they go. You're not going to see any like split. And this right here, I think, is the magic. At this angle, you can kind of see how it slowly reveals itself. It might be too slow. It might not be enough. And that's something we can fix really easy. Go here, 120. This is going to work for any dance floor you want. So, when you look at people's cool movements, like animation in the dance floor is, I think, a big way to show movement in your scene. There. All right. So that makes it look like all of those hexagons are moving on their own, kind of subtly. They're not moving. I just moved one one big asset to get it like that. Now, what I could do, because I want this, I think it's kind of cool, like if there's just subtle movement. What I could do is grab like this guy, holding down my shift key, this guy, this one. Let's see, I kind of want it randomized. Maybe that one and this one. Now, I'll probably right click and join them together because now they're all going to move as one. They're not separate. It would be a real pain in the butt if I was trying to move this scene around now. They're together. They're one piece. The spawn point is right here. Sometimes I don't know. I like the point to be right in the middle of them, but I don't think it's going to affect it. So I'm just going to leave it. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just hit I, and then I don't want to, I'm going to leave the keyframes the same. Since this is the same scene, if I made this more keyframes than the first animation, there's going to be a point where the first animation will just stop. So I think for the sake of like not totally breaking it, I'm just going to leave it like this. So I'm going to just go to some random keyframe, and I'm going to go up, and then I'm going to go down, and then I'm going to do the same thing where this last one is right there. If you do this too often and all of your keyframes start and stop at the same time, people will notice. They'll be like, all right, like I can see where your keyframes for your scene are. Like it's obvious. That's really subtle movement. I don't think anybody's getting excited about that movement. So let's put that. Let's just kind of over exaggerate it. Put it there, and then let's do some under exaggeration. Not like that. It's there. All right, let's see what that looks like. Oh, ew, look at that. That means they're right at the same exact spot. So, can't do that. Move it up a little bit. All right. So, how does that look? That looks better. Look at, oh, the floor is lava. So now there's like a couple things happening at the same time on this scene, or on the floor. And now I think I want to do, again, like those guys. Let's grab this one, this one, this one, this one. Yeah, let's just do those. Same thing. I'm going to pull them up. They're going to start, I'm going to do the first keyframe like they're up here. And then I'm going to bring them down as these other guys are going up, because I think that that's going to be kind of a cool effect. Let's see. Got to make sure that they can like land at the same part that they were at earlier. And copy that first frame and put it at the end. So here we go. Do we have movement? We have nice movement in our scene. Oh yeah. There are little things popping up at different times. So I think if you were down here, like none of the ones in the middle are moving. I don't think I moved any of those, but everything around it is. So you could get real crazy with this. You could really, you could make it actually be cool if this hex took you all the way to the top, which is why I did not mess with this guy right here, because I think that is probably where I would put my elevator. Um, it's kind of right when you come in, but let's see. Can I get to the top with this? Or is it going to get cut right there? It kind of is. Yeah. So it kind of works. It kind of doesn't. I guess like I don't I don't know if it actually I don't know what would happen if somebody was standing right here and they're riding it up and it just smashes them against another collider. I don't know if it would force them down through it. They might like fall through the floor. So maybe that one is not a good one to do it with. Maybe this one. Oh yeah, there we go. See, that one can get you up to the top. So I think that's the one. That's the one that should work. But now we have a question. Do we want it to just like ride up? Actually, it's kind of cool how it like reveals the pink underneath it. Or do we want it to do this, where when it goes up, let me just hide our building. When it goes up, it's not just like a platform. It's like literally this one is taking you all the way to the top. That's kind of cool too. I mean, then if you were down here waiting for your ride to the top, you would it would like be very obvious that that's the one to get on. But it might break up like the dance. I don't know. It might break up the vibe. Since this is a fictitious club that I'm not actually gonna like make it, it's kind of fun because it's like it doesn't matter because ultimately it's just we're making this to test. But I do want it to be kind of cool. So I feel like that would be too bright if that like came up and you saw the pink under it. So maybe what I'll do is just leave this guy here, and then I'm gonna copy it. And now this one I'm going to have go up and down. However, if I'm going to have somebody ride on it, I need to add a collider. So we've done this before, but I would say that this is like a little extra level of complexity. It's also like the number one thing you got to learn how to do, moving colliders, because it's what lets you take your avatar around on stuff. So I'm going to move over here to this, and I'm going to move that. All right. So there might be a lot of ways to do this, but this is the way that I know how to do it. I'm going to duplicate this, and then I'm going to move it to the right, just like that, so that I can get in here and I can see like there's this shape and this shape. I need to have these two shapes. It's not going to make or break anything if the collider's right next to it because nobody can see it, but I do want them to be pretty close together. So this one, I'm going to have that's the collider. That's what people are going to step onto. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to rename that to model collider. All right, and then this is where I have to look at my cheat sheet. I click on the collider first, and then I hold down shift and I click on the piece that I want to go with it. And then I do Control P, and then I do keep transform. I literally see KJ Walker's DM in my head. Keep transform, and she's got like a exclamation mark. And I wrote all that next to my bed, or not next to my bed. God, next to my desk. I should write it next to my bed too. That way I can like get it with osmosis. That's how important it is, you guys. Seriously, that's where it's at. So now when I go to animate this, the collider's coming with it. If you don't do that, you're just gonna fall through your animation, or like you got to parent those two together. The computer has to know that this is part of this. So now, same thing. I'm going to go to the first keyframe. I'm gonna start the animation with it right here, and then I gotta know how far do I go? And it's like, we're gonna have to go halfway. Actually, we could do like this. It could go down faster. That goes up. Right up there. And then and then copy that first one. Paste it at the end. All right, so now this is our elevator. I am traumatized about elevators. Anybody that was here during 2021, you'll be like, I hate elevators because elevators used to break in Decentraland. Oh, look at that. I gotta fix that. Elevators used to break, and so I never made it to where you could only get to the scene by having an elevator. And I would always put stairs in, always make sure there was another way for people to get there. And I know it hasn't been like that for years, but I'm still like, gosh, it's so hard. Like now we've got new users to think about that new users can't necessarily get where they need to go as quickly as people that are sitting here for 6 hours a day. I learned that again in the build that I just made for Winterfest. Got to make it easy enough to access, and then also people on mobile. We're all still figuring out like what we can do with mobile versus PC, but making sure like I had a jump that was too high in the Pudgy Penguin build, so I had to go back and add a ramp. So it's good just to have like a little elevator like this, but it might always be good to have like another way up there. Now this right here, you can see it's coming up too far, but actually I'm not going to change that. I'm going to change this guy. I'm just going to bring him up there. So now shouldn't have that pink pop through. And we can ride it up and down. There we go. All right, so that is done. We're almost. Oh, I thought we're actually good. We got 10 more minutes. I don't know what I don't know what I was thinking when I looked at the clock. So now I can look back. Did I hide anything that I gotta put in here? I hid a few things. Oh, and I didn't put the accent trim. I should put that back. If you come in here, now I'm thinking, okay, time to put the collider in, and time to make sure that our dancers, whomever they are, can get in there. So they can jump up, they can come up the elevator, come over here, jump on the side, and go into the back, which tells me that I think I need to cylinder, just make this a little bit deeper, because then they can see exactly where they're going. So, right. Gotta stop the animation. You can't edit when it's playing. You gotta stop that. There. All I need is it just to peek through there, because then our dancers will know where to jump in. And it doesn't have to be much. Actually, I should do it better. Otherwise, it's gonna look weird on the outside there. I can see I did not make that symmetrical. See that, guys? But it doesn't matter. Let's say that it was a aesthetic. All right. We meant to do that. So back in object mode, grabbing this one, and I'm going to double check that I'm grabbing the cylinder, because if I do it again, that's the model collider. I just want the cylinder. If you are, just trying to learn Blender, this is a lot, but you'll get it. You'll sadly, all it takes is a few times of being like, I don't know why my object isn't showing up, and then you're like, oh, I grabbed the collider. Like, I think that's the best way to learn, is just painfully, I'm afraid. And you know what, guys? Remember that shape that I deleted? Now I need it. Now I need it. Because now I need to cut this. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring in another one. But yep, I told you I was gonna need that. That's why don't ever get rid of stuff. Just, you can see like my tool, all my tools. This is not bad. I should show you the Cantina one. Like, oh my gosh, it looks like a construction zone. Wait, did I turn this? I must have turned this. I did turn it. I turned it and then I was going to turn it back and I didn't. So now we're stuck like this. Okay. Well, this doesn't even have to be perfect because this is just going to cut the collider so that people can get in. But I do want to make sure they can in here. All right. Yay. And I'm just going to duplicate that and put it over here. Make sure that looks good. Good. Okay. So now this is my hollow shell. And now I have to Shift D, duplicate it. And I'm just going to play safe and hide this. And then this one, I'm going to rename model collider. And then that'll show up right there. So now I can cut a hole in this, but nobody will be able to see it. So that's a good way to make secret passages. If anybody remembers my Mardi Gras build last year that had walls that looked like walls, but then if you jump through them, you could get through them. That's how we did that. So add modifier, generate, Boolean, eyedropper, cutting tool, arrow, apply. And then again, add modifier, generate, Boolean, eyedropper, cutting tool, arrow, apply. And now I'm not going to throw them out. I'm just going to move them. Because if I need to adjust it, I gotta do that again. So, ooh la la, there it is. Who's going to be the first to test these out? And good gosh, hopefully our avatars fit that on. Because that would suck if I got this far and my avatar doesn't fit in. Now, if I go back and unhide this, nobody will see it. Except they'll see that, but that's okay. Oops, not that one. There. So that's a good way to make an invisible, passage. Let's see, how does it look? Looks good. All right, now, okay. I want to put this accents back down here, so I'm going to duplicate this. This one is still exactly the right size on the front. On the back, I need to widen it. I also think this, if it was like a real club, I'd have a guardrail right here. Probably. Don't want any L&I cases. Go back to that mode. And I think it would look cooler if it was not straight. Maybe it would, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, I think as a builder, it's the making decisions that tends to be sometimes the thing that stops you from building. Like not being able to commit to a final decision, like what you want it to look like. At least for me, that can stop me quite often. All right, and then I want this to be the same. I want it to be like a clear texture, and all I have to do is go back to that old material. Hopefully that doesn't look bad. Does it look bad from the side? I don't know. And then this, let's go back into edit mode. I want to, it's really easier to see like this. I'm gonna grab these guys, pull them out. Ooh, you know what? If I make this a collider, then maybe people that know there's a way to get in back here, they will know. That's the fun thing, and it doesn't take long. People are fast learners in Decentraland. I swear, the speed at which they can break stuff, and you know who you're talking, you know who you are. Like emotes and stuff like that. I love it. Okay, that is not a lot of room. If you're gonna walk out here as an avatar, that is not a lot of room. So I don't know if I like this actually. After I did it, let's see if I just move it down. Is that better? Maybe it's just more implied. And I don't need a collider around it. That might be better. And now I'm going to, yeah, Shift duplicate down here. I'd undo what I just did because um, I just like made it tapered, and for the glowy parts, I don't want it tapered. I just want it like nice. So that going into this tab to change the properties back to like, ooh, maybe not bright glowy, maybe like that. It doesn't look like it's glowing here, but it will like once it's in world. And I think now I can just Shift D, duplicate, bring it down here. Oh, that I gotta make it smaller so it fits. Good. And then Shift D, duplicate, S to make it smaller. And then I'm gonna grab that one. Shift D to duplicate. That's down here. All right. There we go. And then the last thing that I'll do, I mean, usually after you deploy, you're gonna have to do a bunch of stuff on this to fix it. But I'm gonna take this white square out because if you leave it, you can just cover it with the regular screen. But if it's sticking out at all, it's just gonna be kind of a pain. And I just don't want to have to deal with that. All right, so I'm gonna save this. Probably should have been saving all along. I'm gonna select all of this, and then down here on my keyframes, I'm gonna hit A. For A is all. It doesn't matter if you're making Blender emotes or if you're making this build. A is all. And I want to grab all those keyframes so that all my fancy animations I did down here are going to come with me. If I don't, it's going to leave some keyframes out. Now here's the part that matters. As soon as we change this and like added animations, there's an extra step with exporting that we have to do. So you're going to go File, Export, GLTF, that's normal. We're going to hit Selected Objects, and then we're going to do Animation, Actions, Active Actions Merged. Export. So if you don't do that, your animations just aren't going to come through. And let's go. Sorry, I'm going to have to move that for a second. And that, and that. Let's get into the Creator Hub. And now in here, there's an extra setting when you import it that you have to click. And I honestly wish it was a default setting because it's, they need to have it. They need to have it there as a default. I'm going to go back into the Hex Club that yeah, this is the one we started last week. I added like the waffle cart in there too with a little link. So hopefully then like people, they can just shop for like the thing that they want. If they're like, oh, I did want to create a waffle cart, they can go in there. You'll notice this right here is a Creator Hub collider that I added just because I couldn't get in. I could get into it, but I had to jump, and I just wanted like new users to be able to just slide right into that Hex Club. Okay, so I could delete this. Sometimes I like deleting what I've got and then just like completely redoing it. I don't know if I necessarily need to for this. I am going to see. Let's see. Build it for Hex Club. Okay. So I'm going to go import X, import assets. I'm going to go to build it forward. And what did I call it? Hex Club. There it is. File name already exists. Yes, sir, it does. Import, replace. It's going to replace the existing one. All right, so I could, yeah, this is where I do have to delete this. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I did actually have to do that. There's the pumpkin that Ruston saw. You're right, Ruston, there's a pumpkin there. Oh, and look at this, it's too big. I did have to resize it, which is, I got words. I got words to say about that, about having the bounding box around your asset. Sometimes Decentraland renders that way too big. Like, I get it. That's, yeah, I won't even go into it. Just, if you can't deploy because you're getting these, like, boundaries, just eat some chocolate and then come talk to me. 'Cause, yeah, I got words, man. I was about to just crash out, chat, when I was making the Winterfest scene. Oh, why is this not moving? I was about to crash out. All right, that's good enough. I could make it like a little bit bigger, and I think my pumpkin hopefully is there. All right, so I got my scene in. This is usually where I go to publish, and don't do that. That's not what you want to do. I swear, like I always do that, even today. And there's one little spot that you got to click down here. I wish it was default clicked, but playing loop. Those two things. Go in there, do those. That's the way to do it. So I'm going to jump in here and see if I can preview it really quick. Anytime you're messing with animations and the animations don't work, go check these. Like on the Winterfest scene where I had, I don't know, 20 different snowflake animations, I had to make sure that each one of those two pieces were clicked. I don't know what would happen if they made those like default, but man, it still bugs me. Like, all right, and then preview is going to take a second, and we can go in there and actually try it out, see if it works. I think oh, you know what? I don't think I can if I'm in world. I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes it like kicks you out actually. Because I don't know if you can be like in Decentraland world and then go and preview a scene. Usually you have to like choose one or the other. I know. Yeah, so that's what's gonna do. Alright. Well, I won't do that. Oh no, I don't want to hear that music either. Okay. Alright, so I will oh, did I deploy it? I don't think I did deploy it. Let me jump back there. Okay, sometimes that screen gets me when it's like so big. Alright, so publish. Okay, publish to land. You can choose where you want it to be. I'm gonna publish it in the same spot. I might end up just putting this all over Decentraland, and then people can just be like, "Oh, what's that?" And they walk up and they're like, "Oh, I could build this. That's cool." Maybe they'd be inspired and build it. Maybe not. Um, okay, so that'll take like 15 minutes, and then we can jump in and see what it looks like. So if anybody has questions, I'm gonna look through our chat. Let me know if you have questions. We are at about an hour. I wanted to do more than that, but I think for now, it's sometimes it just takes longer to build than you want to. So, all right. So I'm gonna look. I think I got down my X. I see. Okay. Flashbacks. Wolfie's getting flashbacks. I bet. Oh, Harmony, somebody wanted to buy waffles. I'm glad. I have been so happy with how much joy that emote has been bringing to people. Um, Gotta do some other food ones. I think people are hungry. If they aren't hungry in 8 hours, they will be. So that's our way to onboard them is through their stomach. All right. So if you have any questions, let me know. If there's anything you want to see in the future, let me know. I probably will move on from this one. I think it's good just to have little smaller projects each week, or maybe I'll do something and like make the Hex Club part of like a bigger a bigger scene. Um, yeah, and I'd like to get into Creator Hub more and do some different things like that. Oh, two people I never talked to once or so went and discussed it with me. Thank you for your emote, guys. Yeah, thank you. I mean, I like the emotes that I have done. Like, let me load that one. The waffle cart is 100%. I just want people to talk with each other. Like oops. That's why I made this one so that. Sorry, peace. um, I think it's so important to I don't know, like I have discovered just playing here and acting like you're selling waffles is maybe more engaging than acting like, "Hi, I'm Canessa. I'm, this person." I'd rather be like, "Dude, I'm a waffle connoisseur and I've got like the best waffles. I got strawberry, I got chocolate." Like I I kind of think people just want to play. Like I feel like it's more like uh, interactive sometimes, just being silly. But I also am like pretty silly all the time anyway. Um, yeah, so even if you guys want to do like a new emote together, this is one that we did a few weeks ago. We made the cart for it. Um, let me know. Let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna close it out. Thank you everybody for being here. Hope it's helpful. Send me a message if there's any questions you have. And otherwise, have a great week building, and we will see you here next week. Take care, y'all.